It's Two on the Aisle with me, Charles Gross, and Leslie Hoban Blake. Tonight, reviews of The Mystery of Edwin Drood, Picnic, The Other Place, Glengarry Glen Ross, and Golden Boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two on the Aisle. Good evening. I am Charles Gross.
And I am the aforementioned Leslie Hoban Blake.
Well, our studio is being totally overhauled, upgraded, and updated. So, tonight we are coming to you from my living room. Yes.
Which is going to become a really great place. You know, Charlie's Living Room could be the name of a club, too.
It actually could be, like,
Absolutely.
well, I don't know.
Get going.
Like Hernando's Hideaway.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's start with The Mystery of Edwin Drood.
And it's a mystery because?
Well, because we actually don't know how it ends. This was the last work of Charles Dickens, and he died before he could finish it. So what Rupert Holmes, who wrote the book, the music, and the lyrics, has done
For it, the first time around,
is basically said, okay, the audience will decide who killed Edwin Drood. So at the end of the musical, we all vote, among other things, on who the murderer was. And the interesting thing was, when the night I saw it, it was the same person who was chosen when I saw the original with George Rose and Betty Buckley about 20 years ago.
I think the same thing happened to me. In my case, you saw with you it was Rosebud.
Right, Edwin's fiance.
Right. With me, it was the Princess Puffer character, the first time played by Cleo Lane, the incomparable Cleo Lane, and now played by the incomparable Chita Rivera. So it's always a stunt casting kind of role.
Well, I have to say, you could just feel the love with Chita Rivera. She is so happy to be back on stage, on Broadway. The audience is so happy to see her. It's like the line from Chicago, which she, by the way, was in the original cast of, I love them and they love me, and I love them for loving me and they love me for loving them. It is just...
Which is very much like Drood, because Drood is all about a play within a play, and everybody has more than one name, and you never know who. It's difficult enough to remember the names of characters when it's such a large cast, and then to have to remember their stage names versus their real names in the show.
Well, it's framed around an English music hall, right back in the 1800s, which is why you have Stephanie J. Block, who was a woman, playing Edwin Drood, who of course is a man, which was apparently traditional at the time.
There was a whole Vesta Tilley was well known for doing her man clothes thing was perfect.
And you have Jim Norton, who has the unenviable task of following George Rose, and I have to say does it very well.
And I'm so happy to see him out of those dark seafarer, the wearer kind of roles. Oh, he did do Finian, so I guess he's not only doing dark.
Well, he's obviously a very versatile actor.
Yes.
And again, fun is the name of the game. This is not a great musical, although I have to say, when I heard the score on stage, I liked it a lot better than I remember it, because I went back, I listened to the CD, and I said, but either the cast is better, which is saying something given who was in the original cast.
I don't know if that's it. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it was fun. I think when you're having that kind of fun in the theater, it sounds better. There's just a psychological thing going on. I know you love this kind of stuff when they come up and they talk to you and they get you into the act. I hate it. I hate that part myself. But they did it well. They really put their hearts into it. I saw it very early in the run. I'm sure you did too. And it started back in November sometime, I think. So, and it's still running pretty strong. So, when does it end?
I think in March.
Well, then it's surpassed a lot of other shows that haven't made it. So,
right. Speaking of clubs, it's actually at
talk a segue.
Did we give the space known as Studio 54.
Right, did we give our playbills to this?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We do that at the end, but first we're going to see some scenes from it.
Okay. That's why I say, don't take half measures, do things right and dig right in. In this world, there's greater treasures than the wages of sin.
And in the moonfall, all sound is frozen still, yet pressed against me, your skin will warm the chill. A moonfall, I feel its lingers, the veil of night shade, lightning from stars that all too soon fall. Moon both hands, Jack. My dearest Uncle Jack.
My dearest nephew Ned,
A life without your friendship would be life as good as dead.
the winds of hell may blow, but as you well may know, I'll heed your call, no need to small and face the fires below. For you,
For you,
for you,
for you.
to kinsmen more than brothers, we know no next of kin, and yet we know no other's close beneath the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain, to kinsmen where all others flee, that we remain.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's a fun show.
It is.
I will say one thing about Cheetah Rivera. This is the only celebrity who will never be on Dancing in the Stars because they can't figure out whether she should be a contestant or a coach.
You got it in, Charlie. I know you wanted to do that line. Okay.
I did. As for Edwin Drood, I think I would give that 3.5.
Oh, after all that, it's only 3.5?
Maybe
I
3.75.
would agree with you. I would agree with you simply because I didn't love it that much, but I didn't love it the first time that much either. So, in the park I saw it.
It's a fun show, but it's not an overly
Yeah.
wonderful
Yeah.
show. But
No.
it's a nice, good time.
It's a good time.